What if stress isn't just in your head, but in your cells? Today, we're going to hear some fascinating ideas around the link between our emotions, energy, and physical well-being. Brian Clement is the author of the book Quantum Human, Embarking Fearlessly into a New Era of Consciousness and Well-Being. He's also the co-founder of Hippocrates Wellness Institute in West Palm Beach, Florida. Good to have you on the show, Brian. Thanks for joining us.
Desiree, it's so nice to be with you. One of my favorite states' capitals, Sacramento.
Yes. Okay. We're glad you enjoy Sacramento. I wanted to talk to you about your book. I mean, could you share what inspired you to write Quantum Human and the core message you hope people take away from your book?
Well, after 55 years working with 1 million people at both the Institute and in Europe, we sort of figured out, our medical team, my wife and I, what makes people happy, healthy, and well, or age prematurely and sick and dying. And so in this book, it's a compilation of more than a half a century of clinical research, meaning you're working with people. This isn't theory, this isn't somebody else's idea, but what's really beautiful and so wonderful for us to see is the great institutions, Harvard and Stanford and McGill, and all the top, Oxford, Cambridge, have caught up with us. So in this book, it's all 100% science-based, but anyone can read it and understand it. You don't have to be an intellectual. You just have to be a person who says, I'm fed up with being sick and tired, and I want to change. Because what has happened in the United States is appalling. It's sickening. It's outrageous. The number 3 killer is modern medicine. Now, look at what I'm saying to you. We're teaching you how not to die from medicine and healthcare, but to live and thrive from it. And Quantum Human actually will explore this in a way that anyone can do it, step by step.
And Brian, you've spoken about 4 essential keys for a healthy life. Would you walk us through these elements and why they matter?
Well, as a nutritional PhD scientist, I was a little shocked to find out my role wasn't number 1. The number 1 was psychology, and it's affirmative attitude, which is very, very difficult to have in a time where everyone's pessimistic. It's become hip to be negative rather than hip to be happy. And so it's totally a weird time. But what we know is that when people are negative, as you pointed out at the introduction, it goes into the cell. Not because we imagine this, because we see it. The work of Dr. Carl Symington, the work right at Stanford of the most advanced teachers and scientists are showing you that affirmative thought increases immune system, negative thought decreases that. So if you want to die prematurely, if you want to get sick prematurely, be unhappy. We teach you to be happy. Number 2 is how you eat. Now, this is so important. It's actually a fuel that most of you take as proteins and vitamins and minerals and essential fats. All of that's okay, but we take it to the level it ought to be at. The 21st century nutrition, which is how much energy, how much biofrequency do you have in the food? Every one of your 100 trillion cells have energy in it. And most Americans today, it's like a dimmer switch has been faded to the point you can hardly see the light. This kind of food we're talking about raises the energy, so puts a literal shield around your cell. So free radicals, the cause of all aging and disease, are abolished. Next, a new way to look at movement and exercise. Not the old way, let's get muscles, let's do aerobic exercise. None of that's bad, but we find a way to connect the brain through the neurological system to all the organ systems so they're functioning in chorus together. They work together to make your overall well-being greater and better. And most important is you connect yourself then to the exterior environment, which is today called the science of epigenetics. And last, and very, very important, nobody else seems to talk about, but after 70 years on the front line, we have figured this out, that having a tribe, you are wired genetically for thousands and thousands of years to be a tribal member. And today we are solo acts, and we revere solo acts, but we need that family. We need that group of friends that we can trust and relate to. We need that chorus of happiness, that people are supporting you, loving you, and backing you. And without that, we get sick and we age prematurely. And how we know inversely is when we take these things and we establish them, when people come to Hippocrates Wellness and spend time with us, where we educate them and reprogram their brains in a positive, happy, and natural way, that they all get better. People like me in my mid-70s feel 25 years old. I'm not the exception. You're the exception if you're not this way.
All right, Brian, I'm going to let our viewers know where we can go for more information. We appreciate you joining us. Certainly something to think about for an interesting perspective on cultivating a healthy, balanced life. You can find out more in his book, Quantum Human, and on his website at brianclementphd.com.